Mike, the BAM show is here. We are back. We got a new season, a lot of stuff to kick off. Today we're going to talk about Charvarius Ward, former 49ers. He had a lot to say, Mike, and I got to get your takes on it. You got to walk me off the ledge on this thing right here. Yeah, we talking second team All-Pro Charvarius Ward. Mike, you ready to kick this off, baby?
You damn right.
What's going on, all the 49er faithful out there? Welcome to the BAM Show. What's good, everybody? Hey, it's been a minute, Mike. You know, it's been a minute. Took a little hiatus to come back to the table to create some things, talk about some things. We're gonna be here Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Unless you get an alert saying it's going to be something different. But we're going to look to do the live show Wednesdays now, every Wednesday, Mike.
And that's why it's important to make sure y'all have those notifications turned on.
Oh.
We're going to bring y'all this BAM show. So after you subscribe, you turn on those notifications, man. You got to hit that little bell. That's what the little ding-ding was for, to remind y'all. Turn on those notifications because sometimes Wayne going to be like, yo, Mike, we got to do an emergency BAM show.
Uh-huh.
You know, oh, hey, Mike, you know what? We got to do a little early today because, you know, I got to go get this paper. You know, hey, Wayne, I got a meeting. Can we do? Yeah. So, you know, regular scheduled program, 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, right? But it's important to have those alerts set.
That's what I'm talking about. Way to bring in the show. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew in the building. Jack's first in the building says, hey, Wayne and Mike, BAM fam. Hope everyone's Wednesday went well. We back, baby. Football is here. Like, subscribe, and join the Breezy Bunch crew. And she got a question. Wayne and Mike, do you guys think Colton McKivitz is going to have a great year? We're hearing his name out there. Do you think Colton McKivitz is going to have a great year, Mike?
I think Colton McKivitz is going to play tackle for the Niners, and we're going to be all right. I don't know if you're going to have a great year. Here's the thing. I'm trying to decide on one of these bad offensive linemen having a great year, and I don't know if I should want it to be Brindle or McKivitz. So if I had to pick one that's more important, is it Brindle?
Yeah. The guy that got to hike the ball, got to call out the protections. Yeah. I think his job is more of importance than the tackle position. And
the right tackle.
The right tackle position. Right. And this offense, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's
for the right-handed quarterback. Like now, if we had a lefty,
a left-handed, it would be the right tackle.
Yeah. So I don't know that Colton McKivitz is going to have some phenomenal year or anything like that. But hopefully it's improved. Hopefully he's good, and we going to let it rock out. Marty Mars in the building.
So
what's going on,
says
big
they
dog?
hating on your takes. I want to know a little bit more about this, man. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch members too, man, that are tuned in live.
So I don't know specifically which one he's talking about because after I do my breakdowns, Opus Clips just fires off clips. So I don't know which one he's seen. I haven't had a chance.
He said that they're saying you're not a real Niner fan.
Who's they? Who said that? Why? Because I said both have been trash.
So you want him to call the people out. I like how you get down.
Oh, my bad. You know what? I don't care about who said it. I want to know why they're saying I said it. That's why I said who was that.
He's not going to know why they're saying that you said it, but right? He won't know why.
If y'all thought I had hate for Niner players, wait till we start talking about this joker over here. Like it's cool.
All right, let's not waste no time, man. We 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes. All right, real quick, 49ers news updates. 49ers have worked out running backs Jeff Wilson Jr. and Dearness Johnson. Jordan James did suffer injury, could miss time per Mike Garafolo. Mike, that running back room, we already took away Israel Abanikanda. He got waived. And so then it came down to Corey Kiner, the undrafted kid. You got Patrick Taylor, the guy that they re-signed. Jordan James was the player that they drafted. Then Christian McCaffrey and Isaac Garindo. They're looking to possibly bring back Jeff Wilson Jr. Man, out of those two names, like, who do you think the Niners bring back? I mean, who do you think the Niners sign? I'm sorry.
Weren't both of them here? I feel like Dearness Johnson was here for a short stint also, right? I got to check his resume.
Out before, but I don't think he ever played for this team.
Oh, was it just a workout? All right. I mean, listen, I've always had an affinity for Jeff Wilson Jr. Y'all know that for a long time. I wanted him more involved in the pass game. He's a former wide receiver. So I've always had, like, I wish we utilized him more, right? And then somebody, it might have been you, Wayne, somebody pointed out, like, all of the big runs that he ever had, like, that really made me, like, hype. Mm-hmm. They were like, Mike, like, a toddler could have ran through those holes. Like, they just opened it up for him. It wasn't him doing anything special. But he was physical at the line, at goal line scenarios also. He did run with that physical style of play. So I'm going to go with Jeff Wilson Jr., but I think both of these guys have been here before. So
I don't think Dearness Johnson is – I don't think he's been here. I think he worked out. I don't remember ever signing him. But if I had to pick between the two dudes, I think it would be Jeff Wilson because he's most familiar with the Shanahan system, right? Like he's a guy that's been in the system. He's a guy that's been utilized. He's a guy that's kind of like been the main guy at one point. So I'm gonna go with that. We got a couple of super chat contributions here too. We want to get through these, and then we're gonna break off into this Charvarius Ward. I'm not calling him Mooney Ward no more. He's no longer a Niner. So, yep. So JP Hella Hard 2800 said we playing for a championship Saturday. Flag. So at 10 or Saturday, his flag football team that he coaches, he's a football coach too, they're going to be playing for their championship. We're going to wish you guys good luck, much success to you. You guys are going to win anyway. You know how y'all do. Great guy, great man. Yeah, they're going to hold it down. So I expect to hear about the championship, the victory Saturday when y'all win. I expect a text message or something, or video voice message or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Jax Knox is back in the building. His football is back. 17-0, baby. 17-0, baby. Yeah, let's get it, baby. Let's
keep that energy. Keep that energy.
Peachy's in the building, says, hey, Breezy and Mike. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and get to this situation with Ward. And he spoke out, and I read the article. I don't know if you got a chance to read the article, but I read the article.
I read nothing by Mike Silver.
Okay, but I wanted to read the article because I wanted to make sure that the quotes weren't, like, not misquoted, but
taken out of context.
There it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't. like he literally said these things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, he different, you know? Now, we're talking about a player in Charvarius Ward that the traumatic experience, losing the baby, losing his daughter, very sad. Never really fully mentally, I don't think, recovered from that. But Mike, you said that Ward didn't look up to par prior to that, right? Like prior to that. We're going to dig into some of the parts of the article. We're going to put up the article. We're going to read it together. But I do want to get your take on this, Mike. And I'm going to put up his just defensive grades, you know, just to see how well he performed throughout the season. All right. So, Mike, go ahead, man. Tell me what you're feeling right now. I know you saw some of the comments. What are your thoughts?
So, I'm going to say me. I feel like it's a lot you also, but I don't want to speak for you. We just weren't happy with his performances. I'm sorry. I wasn't happy with his performances, and I was calling him out for it because there were games where he just I felt like he didn't show up. He was a liability at times, and then, so me being the person that I am, I'm call the players out. I hold them accountable, right? Like, hey, you got to get better, bro. Like, I don't know what your problem is. You got to get better. And we did this for some weeks. And then the word came out that he had lost a child. And so I can say this confidently, I don't remember if it was on this show or the No Harm, No Foul, but we actually did an apology video. We talked about how we never know what players are going through and all that stuff. But it turns out that wasn't the case at all. So how do I rescind my apology? Like, I want to take my apology back. It had nothing to do. Well, I'm not going to say nothing.
It did. So it has something to do. I don't. So the full article was he did talk about losing his daughter, Imani Joy. Like it did have something to do with that. Now, remember we were going back and forth. Remember, Ward had came off of surgery that off season. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was just taking him a little bit longer to get reacclimated back to his football shape, like to his game of football. The stuff that you were seeing was bad. He had some bad plays. We saw a lot of blown coverages. You saw a lot of stuff that we weren't seeing. He definitely wasn't playing up to that that all-pro, second team all-pro status. Definitely wasn't playing up to that. And so I was like, well, maybe, it's taking him a minute. Now, I don't think he lost his daughter till after the Dallas game, right? So that's 8 weeks in, because that's when he missed the time. He wasn't there from week 9 through week 13. I'm sure we had a bye week somewhere in there. We had our bye week. I can't remember when our bye week was, but
the bye week was week 9.
Okay, so the bye week was week 9, and then he didn't come back till week 13.
Right.
So he said that, the Dallas game, he had one good, I thought he had one solid game. Graded wise, he had one solid game. And that was week 1 when everything was flying on all cylinders. We beat the snot out of the New York Football Jets, and everything was Gucci. And then we saw the messed up cover. We just saw a bad play from Ward,
And then you go back and look at the medium grades and look at who we were playing against, like New England. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they didn't have a quarterback.
He had a 66.2 grade. Look at the grade against Arizona. You could, all right, fine. I'm looking overall because you got to tackle too. But all right, cool. Let's go coverage. These grades are terrible. He had good coverage against Kansas City. Go figure, right? If you focus
a system
on the
that he
coverage
knows, a system that he knows the team well, right? So, all right, that makes sense.
I kind of want to focus up until the bye week because he didn't play particularly well up until the bye week. Like, he just wasn't good. And he said that, though. He said that in the article, right? Like, so I want people to understand, like, even in the article, he kind of stated that, he just wasn't himself. I think what I'm a little bit upset was that he was more... Mike, why do I feel like he made a business decision at the beginning of the year because he wasn't offered an extension? That's what I want to talk about, man. Fuck everything else.
Boom.
Boom, bam, bam, bam. Right? So
bam.
My question was he acting bitter toward the 49ers? That's part of my first question. And part 2 of the first question is, did he quit on the team, bro? Now, and take out the traumatic, tragic experience. But it sounded like he quit from the beginning of the season because he was butthurt about not getting a contract extension. Now, he did make it clear, Mike, before you answer these questions and I shut up, he did make it clear by saying that he knew and John and Kyle have been great day one at giving that information. Like they were adamant, they were honest, he knew about it, but he quit. In my opinion, it felt like he quit.
He half-assed it for sure. And I think what happens is we saw that he was getting burnt and all that stuff, and you said that he had the surgery in the offseason and all that. He was recovering from it and everything, right? And so maybe I don't want to give 100% because I don't want to re-injure myself. I got to go into free agency. And so this is a big problem for anybody, right? So I remember when you were talking about, oh, he's still recovering, he's recovering, so we got to give him some grace. And I always said, no, if you're out there, you got to play well. And if you feel like you can't play well because of the injury, it's your responsibility as a player to tell the coaching staff, hey, guys, I'm not feeling 100% still.
But I'm not blaming the injury on his negative play. I'm blaming him not being acclimated. It's a totally different thing. So you got to give players grace. If they not practicing, they're not going to play well. So he wasn't practicing. It's the same thing as Brandon Ayuk.
Right.
Missed all of camp and was just slow and lethargic out there. But it doesn't mean he wasn't giving it his all. Had some drops, but
just didn't have it.
It just didn't because that beginning part where you're getting in sync with the system and the players and you're learning the new core that you have to play with. Like that beginning part is missing, and so now it's like you're the man, but these players have been doing everything without you and doing it well. And when you come in, it kind of throws a wrinkle in the system if you're not caught up to what they're doing. It's kind of like he should have just got in and just gracefully fell in and whatever. But no, they tested his ass. That cat was getting beat.
The it was not good, man. And so I see the question here is what's the difference between Ward quitting and the linebacker quitting? One guy was just didn't want to be on the field.
But there was context behind that, right? It wasn't that he didn't want to be on the field. But okay, are you saying that Ward didn't want to be on the field?
No.
Okay, so let's have this conversation
Campbell.
then. All right, because I don't see it as much of a difference. All right, I don't see a difference, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, the night, according to the story, the night before the game, linebacker coach Johnny Holland went to him and said, "Hey, we're gonna be bringing Greenlaw back. Would you like blah 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 whatever?" And in his mind, he like, "Yo, I've been the one out here busting my butt." Now, I'm not saying giving him no grace or nothing like that. He quit, but this is quitting. It's the same difference. This dude, Charvarius Ward, basically came out and said, "I knew I wasn't getting extended, so I really wasn't motivated to play."
I think the difference is one guy not wanting to go out on the field, and that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
like
but
Campbell didn't want to be a rotational guy. No, I earned the reps,
Yeah,
I earned the starts. So y'all just bringing this guy off the bench from injury and going.
But Ward basically just said he went. But Ward went out on the field, but he didn't want to go out on the field. He just went out on the field. I get what you're saying, but Ward didn't want to be there. He wasn't.
I agree.
But so you're saying because his actions were different, that's what makes it different?
Yeah, one guy went home, right? Like that, and that's the
He
difference.
went home here though. Let's just talk like literally like that's kind of like what happened, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever happened on the football field, that's when he went home.
Right. But you can't check out in football. Like you can't.
No.
You can't. This is going to sound bad, right? But you can't play football just like you can't play boxing, right?
Right.
It's
no, I
too,
get you. No. You're saying you can't play around with the sport. You're either 100% in or 100% out. You can't be lukewarm. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm with you.
Now, to that, both of those guys are guilty of. Both those
They're both
guys.
quitters. They both quit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck Ward, man. I don't care. Fuck him.
Okay, yeah,
And-
it's the same. I can't give Campbell that energy and not give it to Ward, even though I do have. I wish this never came out. The fact that he even did this interview was stupid. Like, bruh, the fuck? Like, why
Who was
would
the interview actually with? Was it with?
Okay, I mean, we know it was Mike Silver, but like at the end of the day, like, Mike, like, why would you have this conversation? Like, if you're gonna talk to me about anything, talk to me about the time I had to miss dealing with the death of my child. Don't hit me with I was checked out at the beginning of the season because they didn't hit me with I wasn't motivated, to play because they didn't hit me with a contract extension, and they made it clear that they wasn't going to hit me with a contract extension. So technically I was just like, F the team. Bruh.
You don't volunteer that kind of information.
No!
Because what does that say to the next team during your contract year? You know what I mean? Like
the coach, the coach is stupid. So Chris Ballard, you're an idiot. I mean, you got your Trent Baalke's, now you got your Chris Ballards. I mean, the moment
I'm not touching a guy like that. I'm not touching a guy like that. I'm not. And you wanted an extension coming off of surgery? Like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
they
honestly.
They gotta watch you play, bro. At least,
Right.
Yo, you can't go from a second-team All-Pro year and then come off of surgery to a procedure type of injury and then not give it your all. Like, show that you want to bust your ass. Show that you want this team to re-sign you, bro.
Make it hard for them to say no.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah. These guys, I don't respect that. I will never respect that. I will never, ever respect that from a football fan perspective.
I can't do it. We got a new subscriber, too. Shout out to Val B. New subscriber
Val?
to the channel. Here comes the foghorn. Thanks for touching down. Now, Val, you got to become a member by clicking on join. Thanks, Val. Appreciate the subscription. Mike, I'm serious. And for those that don't know, the BAM show is definitely going to be taking a little twist and turn. Mike got different things for no harm, no foul. But when you're on the BAM show, these are going to be those controversial, tough topics that you don't really want to talk about. And they might not all be 49er related, but we're going to have these conversations. But I have issues with this because it's like, Mike, I want to be empathetic. And it's hard for me not to be empathetic. I can't say that I've been where he's been because I've never been in that situation or scenario, but at the end of the day, now my empathy is like how do I be empathetic and criticize this dude for saying this stuff where I'm reading you quit on the team without saying you quit. You quit on my team. You can't quit on my team and then make me feel, I can't stand. Devondre Campbell is the he's the weakest ass motherfucker I've ever met.
Yeah.
Now I feel like Ward going in that same book.
He goes in the same box. He goes in the same box. I wasn't motivated to play. I didn't like how can you openly admit that? Like I just don't get it.
It's a hypothetical question, right? Because I can't answer that.
Well, no, I don't expect you to answer it, right? But it's like, bro, it's the worst kind of football player that you could possibly be. I don't care what position you play at all. Like you can't do that. You can't do that. And like you volunteer that information. So here's the answer to your question. You said, how can I still have empathy? We obviously still feel for his loss.
For sure.
That is completely separate from what we're talking about. Now we're talking about football mentality. And
thank you, Mike.
He's mentally soft. As much as we talked about other corners in particular on this team losing it upstairs, right? We talked about Akello. We talked about Ambry Thomas. We talked about these guys who lost it mentally on the field, right? This pussy belong in the same box.
Now, I will say
he belong in the same box.
Hold up. Ambry and Akello didn't quit on their team.
Right. They were benched.
No, but they didn't quit.
I know.
So we could talk trash about them. This guy's gonna get the business. You're like, hey man, much respect to you, bro. Appreciate what you did here. You still second team all pro. Try getting first team. And I'm happy for him. He got his 3-year, however much $1 million deal, $30 million, $40 million deal with the Colts. Now he's their problem. But at the end of the day, I just don't understand how you can kind of like throw shade on an organization that gave you really your first big contract. Let's have this conversation. Because the Niners are the first team. They picked you up, and then they believed in you, and you went out there, you bust your ass. You ain't talk, you earned it. And it's like, I have issues with guys that earn these contracts, Mike, and then they feel like they the shit, and then they think everything gonna be handed to them. Man, football is 100% injury prone. You are as good as your last play when you step onto the football field. The key when you get injured is to mentally figure out how you're gonna get back, because the next man up is trying to take your job. And I feel like he had everything laid out for him. You had an emerging Deommodore Lenoir. Matter of fact, he was so emerging, Mike, they labeled him as a DB. They didn't classify him as a corner. They didn't classify him as a nickel. They didn't classify him as a safety. He had his own category. He was the only one in that category to where they still were showing the love to Ward. I'm not misinterpreting anything that he's saying, because it's all in quotes. So it definitely made, okay, here we go. There was a lot going on, bro, he said, quote, end quote, because if you're winning, everybody wants to get paid. Everybody feels it. Everybody feels that when certain guys are not around and certain guys are around but not participating. Like, I was there. I had surgery after the season under the advice of them, and that's another shot. Like, that's a stray. That's a stray. They're telling you to get fully healed, bruh.
They ain't no stray. They were doing what was best for you and your long-term future, and you worried about the contract. Like, he shot a stray at them, in my opinion, by saying that. That's not a stray? Well, I felt like it was pretty direct. Like,
oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, my bad.
It's y'all punk ass fault that I got surgery in the first place.
Blame them for telling you to heal, get right.
Yeah, they doing what they think is best for you.
If they told you to play on the injury, you gonna blame them too? So the 49ers are damned if they do or damned if they don't.
Right.
I'm glad this punk ass off this team, man.
Did you quit on the Chiefs that final year? I bet you didn't, though, did you?
Nah.
I know the Chiefs didn't want to extend you. You know how I know? Because your ass signed here when you left the Chiefs, right? So they didn't want to extend you. Did you quit on them? You rode all the way to the postseason with them boys, right? all the way to the Super Bowl with them boys that year, right?
I gotta read X-Man 2's comment, but
Go ahead.
I wanted to. No. You keep talking. I just talk out loud so I don't forget stuff. Keep going, bro. You got it.
No, I'm just saying because you can't sit here and say, oh, it's a contract year, so I'm not going to give it my all anywhere I go. That's bullshit. That's bullshit because we saw you play. His play with the Chiefs is why the Niners went to sign him, and he didn't have a future there. He didn't have an extension. He had nothing else lined up, so you can't have it both ways, bro. Which one is it going to be? You can either play motivated without a contract extension or you can't. So now now it's a shot at the 49ers. Now I get to take it personal. Because I've got examples of both sides of the coin.
Mike, just
pull up his stats. You got the PFF shit over there. Pull up the stats from the year that he played with the Chiefs before coming to the Niners. See how many red bullets you see up there.
Where we going back? 2021, right? 2021. He came to us in 2022. All right, so 2021.
Punk ass. And then you can read X-Man's comment too. I'm sorry.
He had a 65.7 overall grade.
58 over here. I'm listening.
Okay, so he was a good tackler at an 80.4 grade, but his coverage grade was a 62, straight up. 62. He was targeted 72 times. He gave up 36 receptions. That's 50%. Sounds the same. This is who he is. And they didn't want to pay you. But you got paid. You got the contract as a free agent from the Niners.
Where's the gratitude? Where's the grace?
And you're talking about
where's
a team
the appreciation
that allowed you to take as much time as you needed to deal with your other stuff. The stuff that you didn't have. Like, jobs don't gotta care about that. They can get written about. You know?
Man, we know what NFL stand for. Not for long, man. These boys come in here and it's next man up. And if somebody were to take his spot during that time, I think the team were going to let him come back because of what he went through. They're going to give him another shot. They're going to give him that role as soon as he returns. But they didn't quit on him throughout the rest of the season, and he had plenty of bad games after the Buffalo game.
There we go. But then that's when he was mentally checked out, though. Like so that's why I don't want to talk about anything after the death of his child, because I don't expect him to be checked in. This dude was checked out before the season because he didn't get a contract extension. That's where I'm at. Like that, he was bitter. That the title of my show was Charvarius Ward bitter towards the team. And yeah, it's a hell yeah, man. If he came out and said what he said. Now, X-Men said that was the worst. That was worse than Ronnie Bell dropping that pass. That was worse than Ronnie Bell dropping that pass. I had to throw that Ronnie Bell joke in there because I started following Breezy I saw how bad I loved Ronnie Bell. I just thought he was. To my defense, they didn't use him right. Ronnie Bell is a possession receiver. Okay. Can I just give my explanation, or you don't give a fuck? No, you gave the mannerism of you can't fix it now because you can't hide. Ronnie Bell at Michigan was a possession-based type of receiver. Okay, he was never a route runner. He was never this. He was never that. He just wasn't. Why? Because the Michigan Wolverines didn't have a quarterback that could amount to anything. This was pre-JJ McCarthy. This is when JJ was like young rookie, red shirt, whatever. So they were just throwing him short routes. That is not how Kyle Shanahan was using Ronnie Bell. This cat was running deep routes. He was dropping wide open passes, like for sure. After a year, we caught 3 touchdowns against the New York Giants. All right, anyway, that was that. I don't want to talk about Ronnie Bell, but he had another comment, and I forgot it. Oh, damn. Oh, here we go. Mike, you can read this one. Can you read it like Ward would say it, though?
I don't even know how Ward talks, bro.
Ward would be like, that's some sucker shit. I can't get the country twang in there, but he's country.
That's some sucker ass shit.
Yeah, that's some sucker ass shit.
Go read a book, bro. Go read a book. I remember that from your interviews, right? Like how much you love reading. Read a book. Read a book on how to not screw yourself out of some money, man. Like that's crazy.
But Mike, am I wrong for feeling salty because you took shot at my team, bro? I feel like he took.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, not at all. Shout out to Slick here. I'll read this one too. He says, not only did old boy shit on the 49ers, but he also shit on Cali. I'll say it for you. Fuck him. Hashtag handsy ass buster. And guess what, pussy?
I can tell
we gonna see you December 22nd.
Mike, you read the
we gonna
rules,
see you
didn't
December 22nd. Yeah, I read the rules. We gonna see you December 22nd, prime time in the bright lights. Keep that same energy and disdain for us, bro. We coming. We coming. We gonna shit all over this boy, yo. I hope Kyle Shanahan target the I hope Kyle Shanahan make an example out of this motherfucker. He lucky we gotta go. Don't. Yep.
Yo,
Yeah.
all I know is Colts, good luck. Because the moment that them guarantees run out, just expect this stuff to happen, man. That's all I'm gonna say. That's people are asking, like, why did they sign him? Why would anybody sign him? This is before he released this information. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never thought he even thought like this, yo. I thought he was a humble dude, happy for the opportunity. But when cats start feeling themselves and they balls drop, you know what I'm saying? It's a different conversation. And I feel like he felt that because he's looking at it. Because I was reading the thing and hold on. Did I miss it? I always be clicking stuff. All right, here we go. I had surgery after the season under the advice of them, and I was rehabbing with them. I had been all pro too, and I didn't get paid. So I was like, what the like, people are not showing up and getting paid. Oh, and I wasn't. He talking about Christian McCaffrey. He talking about Trent Williams. He talking about Brandon Ayuk. Oh, ring the alarm. Oh, he threw shots. Yo, these are shots. Whoa, okay, Mike. You got to close this out, man. Give me that
Feel some
take.
type of way. We kept the better one. That's what it is. We kept the better corner. That's what it is. Now, I'll say it. We kept the better corner. We saw who the dog was out there. We saw what his name was, and he got the extension, not you, and rightfully so. Good job by the Niners. Get rid of him a year too soon than too late. Go Niners. Accept that Bill Belichick nonsense. That's how you're supposed to do it. All right, we got to go. I know. I'm sorry. We live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Breezy. I'm Mike, and this is The BAM Show.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.